Simple things make me very happy. Hi, welcome to the video. This is Best Things About Van Life Part 3, and I'm going to share with you how van life brings me joy every day. And it might not be from what you think. All right, let's go. So my next best things about van life is learning to appreciate the simple things. There are so many everyday things that we take for granted, and I don't do that anymore. I appreciate the simplest things, and today I'm going to show you at this camp spot I've been at all the things that I appreciate on a daily basis that bring me joy. All right, let's go. So the first two things might actually surprise you because they're not nature, they're actually man-made. So the first one that I really appreciate is a flushing toilet. I sound strange, but I live in a van without a toilet, and a lot of the times you'll go out camping and they have drop toilets, but here they actually have a flushing toilet with water. And it's amazing how much you appreciate that when you don't have it most of the time. So it's something you take for granted when you live in a house. Got to go to the toilet, you just go, flush the toilet, it's all done. It's so different now, and the simple things make me very happy. Number two is in the building here, they have a book exchange. I'm an avid reader, I love to read, and I love it when I get to a place and they have a book exchange, so I can drop off a book I've been reading, I can pick up another one. This one I could make a gold coin donation and just get a book. And so I spent 2 days here just reading, and I read a whole book in 2 days. It makes me so happy, the simplest things. Cheers. So the next things that I've found here that have brought me joy is the way they have remembered their soldiers that fought in World War I. If any of you have watched my videos, you'll know I'm a big lover of nature, and I absolutely love trees, always have my whole life. And what they've done here is, well, actually back in 1918, when the soldiers first went to war, they planted a tree to remember the children that went to the school here. And that tree is still here. It's now 104 years old, and it's magnificent. And that brings me joy to look at it, to think 104 years ago somebody planted this tree, and now I'm looking at the same tree, and it must have seen so much, and it's got so much life. It is so vital. And yeah, that really brings me joy just looking at that tree and the things that I can picture in my mind. The other thing I really like is the way they have done a memorial for the soldiers by planting more trees. I don't know why we don't do this more often. So what they've done is they have a stone there with a plaque on it. They've planted trees in a horseshoe shape and with the soldier's name on it. And I just think that's really nice. What a great way to be remembered by a tree that the birds can come and enjoy and people can walk around and enjoy. I was just thinking, what about instead of having graveyards full of concrete stones, we planted trees every time someone died, and then you could walk through a forest and remember people that way. You could sit under their tree. I just think that's a much nicer way to remember people than concrete stones and plaques and the concrete big memorials. So yeah, it really brings me joy here just walking around in the field with all the trees. After talking about this tree that I love so much, I decided to film the next shot sitting in front of the tree. So that's the 104-year-old tree right behind me. The next thing that's brought me so much joy here, if anyone knows me, is all the animals. I love animals so much, and I don't know if you do know that I have a horse, which I've had to leave behind in Western Australia. He's staying with a beautiful family who are loving him to death. But I do miss him, so since I've been here, there are horses next door in the paddock, and the other day the farmer let them in to where we're camping, and it was so nice. Abby was so well behaved. I'll throw in a photo I took. She was so well behaved, which she never used to be like that around horses. I think she just wanted to be friends. And I just sat there for hours watching them eat. It was just so nice. Just gives me so much joy. And then the other day I walked down to the gate where they were, and one came up and I could pat it, and yeah, it's just been so nice. There also have been sheep in the paddock. There's a chicken, which I haven't been able to get on video, that's got some little chicks with her. She comes and eats the blackberries, which is one of my things that bring me joy. And there's some cows in the paddock down the road, and I saw a lady walking down the road the other day, and the cows were all like, following her in the paddock. So yeah, just watching the animals and the bird life. So many birds. You may have hear them in some of the videos. The kookaburras at night, the birds just singing all day. Yeah, the animals here, it's just amazing. So it's given me a lot of joy to be around the animals. That's one thing I have really missed. I don't know if you can hear that. So yeah, that's definitely been a big plus for this campsite, is all the animals. Apparently shooting videos is very tiring for Miss Abby. All right, let's talk about the blackberries. I haven't actually wandered up here yet today. Let's go wander up here. But there's a blackberry bush, and I wander up here 2 or 3 times a day and just pick the blackberries off and eat them. What more do you want? Do you want one? While we're talking about plants and all the joy that they're bringing me, apart from all the beautiful trees that are here and the beautiful free blackberry bushes, the other thing that really caught my eye the other day was the dandelions. So I decided to lay down on the ground just to relax, and when you look at ground level, it was just this mass of yellow color of the dandelions, which is a bonus because yellow is my favorite color, and it was just spectacular. The other thing I found was the dandelion things. Remember when we used to blow these as kids? All right, let's see what happens. So cool. There'll be a lot more dandelions now for somebody next year. And the other thing I really appreciate and brings me joy is having grass. Another thing you take for granted a lot when you live in civilization. So because I do a lot of camping out in the bush and nature, you don't get a lot of grass. You'll get a lot of rocks, dirt, sand, but not grass. So when you get grass, it's really nice, and I do lay on it and sit on it a lot. Abby has absolutely loved it. She rolls around on it, she lays out in it. So yeah, the grass has been really nice. And I think that's one of the reasons I stayed for 5 days, is just grass. It's so funny, the simple things that bring you joy when you live in a van. Honestly, it's nice. It's really nice because it doesn't take much to please me anymore. Very easily pleased these days. Hi guys, before I forget to tell you, stick around to the end of the video because I'm going to share with you my little surprise guest I had this morning while I was stretching. Oh, she was so cute. All right, well, we've left the best till last. The thing that brings me the most joy of van life. Abby, my baby. Of course, Abby brings me the most joy all the time. So yeah, that is my end of the video. Okay, so this is going to be the end of the video. I think I'm losing it. The end of the video, and that's everything that I have found in this spot that has brought me joy. And most of these things happen all the time in my van life. The simplest things can bring you joy. So what things in your life have you, like, do you overlook? Do you take for granted? Do you not appreciate anymore? If you live in a house with a nice lawn, do me a favor. Take your shoes off, go out and walk on the lawn for me, will you? Just do that every day. It'd be really nice. I'd like that. Yeah, every time you flush the toilet, don't take it for granted. The other big one is turning on the light for electricity. That's huge, you know. There's so many things that we take for granted in our everyday life, and yeah, we should really appreciate them more. And when you appreciate them, it brings you joy. It really, you become happier. You just become happier. You've got a lot less to complain about. All right, guys, look, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Don't leave just yet. Special guest coming up now. All right, we'll see you in the next one. Bye. I've got a guest this morning. Look at that. I don't even know where he came from. I was sitting here stretching. I looked down at my boot and there's a huge praying mantis. Wow. Gorgeous. You're gorgeous. God, I love this life.